just got dropped off at Allen Gap by my family. So now I'm back on trail, headed north. My current intent is I think I'm going to do 3 nights out, 4 days of hiking. Try to start chalking up some miles. Got some pretty good ups and downs today. So about 9:30. Haven't really gone that far because so maybe a quarter mile after Allen Gap, I met Mountain Goat and 4 of his friends. They had come down to see him, and they'd all hiked up and done a stealth site. They were just packing up camp. Stopped and talked with him for a little bit. I met him and his sister Rainbow at a hostel, and then I also met him at in Hot Springs when I was there with my family. And then they hiked by me a little while later, no surprise. And then we came down into another gap, whose name I don't know, and met the Cookie Lady. I'll post a picture with her. I got to have a very good homemade chocolate chip cookie that she gave each of us. We talked for way too long, and then hiked back up from her house to the trail. 11 o'clock, 3 hours and 3.7 miles into my day, mostly up, some down, but mostly up. Spent way too long at the Cookie Lady's house, but hey, I like cookies and I like to talk. Most of the rest of my day is still up. I got like, I had about 4,000 feet of up, and I got, I think, 2,300 feet of up left between here and my my goal shelter. Still 8.4 away, so it'll be a pretty long day, but I think I can make it. Trail's been very good. The weather has been like this. Some rain, been in a cloud all day. Not a lot of real rain, but just kind of water falling here and there. Mostly off the trees, I'm sure. That way behind me is north and the direction that I'm going in. I saw this from a ways up, a ways back as I was hiking up. Figured, yeah, I might got to take a picture of this. My trekking pole is set at 120 centimeters, which is pretty high. I don't know what that is in inches off the top of my head, but 120 centimeters, and you can see it leaning. I put it there just for perspective. I think this is the biggest tree I've seen fall across the trail. That is a big freaking tree. It's pretty recent, you know, obviously, but I'm sure they'll get up here and take care of it. But wow, so a lot of tree. You can see weather's unchanged. Still heading uphill. I'm at Little Laurel Shelter, right off the trail. They've got bare cables. The trail is right here. Father and son came in while I was here, so I'm not going to film around the front, but a little bit of a different configuration. They're not bad. It's a plywood floor. Table's kind of half undercover. Privy is just down through the woods there past the picnic table. You can see the top of the little light color down there. Didn't look for water. I know there's supposed to be some here, but I don't. There's a sign of a blue W pointing towards the rear of the shelter, indicating the water's across the road, but across the trail, but I'm not going to go down for it. Inside the shelter looks dry. Doesn't look too bad. So I'm 7.3 from the next shelter. It's going to be a good long hike this afternoon. Time now is 12:30, so not quite halfway through my hiking day. 2 o'clock update. Had a trail intersect. There's a stealth site here. There's been a reasonable number of campsites pretty much all day. Just met a guy headed south. He's out for like a 3-day hike heading to Hot Springs. He said, careful, there's a bunch of pretty slick rocky section coming up, and then there's an exposed ridge that's real slick. I got 5.5 to go to the shelter, so it's going to be tough. It's 2 o'clock. I'm at pretty close to the highest point of the day. I see the trail goes up going that way, but I'm pretty close to the highest point of the day. I started with like 4,000, almost 4,000 feet of climb for the day, and I got like 700 and something left. I still got 1,300 and something of down though, and when it's slick and wet like this, the down can go as slow as the up. So short talk and need to move on. Hope you're having a wonderful day. The weather continues. I've had my umbrella up since around noon. It helps some, but there's a lot of wind, and sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's just a cloud. Hope you're having a wonderful day heading north. What I'd been hoping would be a cruisy trail this afternoon has been anything but. There's been some hands and feet, you know, climbing through the rocks and a lot of wet roots and rocks. Not much cruisy. The shelter's going to be hard. Don't know if I can make it or not. It's gotten hard, stays hard. It's been hard for a while. It is tough going. It's been this way for a while now. Slippery. Oh, the weather's not great, but I don't think it's bad enough to take the bad weather trail. So bad weather goes that way. And there's the exposed ridgeline trail, which supposedly is, I don't think I'll have fun on it, but I'm gonna go do it. Here we go, heading north on the exposed ridgeline trail. Yeah. Well, I'm sure with the view, this would have been both impressive and scary. I don't even know that I'm not all the way up yet, but it's been impressive and scary already. Headed north. Yeah, with the fog, you really can't tell whether there's something higher ahead of you or not. Head north. Just came down that. No, fuck. And then I come over here, and I gotta go up that. I don't know. Hopefully I can, because I don't think there's any option. This is tough. So I skipped the Smokies, so I know it's not my 300-mile point, but we are 300 miles from Springer. Just past the point where the bypass comes back to the main, the exposed ridge tail and bypass rejoin. That exposed ridge, hardest 1.5 miles so far. Headed this way. Trail looks good. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to make the shelter. There's a spring up here by what's called a dirt road, but the comments say it's no longer a dirt road. It's not passable, which to me says stealth site. So hopefully I find a good spot up here. Day 35 wrap up. Day started off great in Irwin with my family. So after all of the totally necessary photo shots and hugs and thank yous, I was hiking again by about 8 o'clock this morning. The only funny thing about today was first time ever I had brought a couple of cookies out with me on the trail. So today was a cookie day. I had a big oatmeal raisin cookie that I bought in Irwin, and I had a chocolate cookie with peanut butter chips in it, or peanut butter M&Ms in it. So I had cookies today. It was my main thing I ate today after breakfast, and a banana and some orange juice. Trail wasn't bad this morning. Chugging along, all uphill. In fact, I didn't get to the top of the uphill part till like 2 o'clock. Just a steady up. Gained quite a bit. And then just past Little Laurel Shelter, headed north, the trail got hard. First time north of the Smokies, the trail was the hardest I had seen. And frankly, it just kept getting harder and harder and harder. Got to the split between the Bedweather bypass and the exposed ridge. About 1.5 miles of exposed ridge that goes up Firescald, and the big Firescald knob, it's called. That was tough. Honestly, that section that has the bypass around is about 1.5 miles. That's the hardest section of 1.5 miles of the trail I've seen since I started this hike. Jerry Cabin Shelter had been my goal. It's not that much farther. It's like 1 point something beyond here. But it was getting dark, and it was cold and rainy, and the trail, I'd lost confidence that it wasn't going to be difficult. And so I'm at a stealth site. And I'll go up to Jerry Cabin in the morning and stop by there and fix my breakfast and what have you. But other than that, that's my day.